Hello, today we're going to review factoring polynomials, but first I want to touch on something from multiplying real quick. I'm going to quick go over these two. So these are special products, which you see here on number 13. This is in your notes on 13G on the next page. I'm multiplying. I multiple these two together, I would get 16n squared and distribute 4n again. That's 20n. Now we'll distribute the negative 5. It's negative 20n, and distribute the negative 5 again. You will notice that these middle terms will cancel out. So I'm left with 16n squared minus 25. That is not a coincidence. Anytime I have difference of squares and have conjugates here, notice they're the same thing, plus or minus. Those middle terms will cancel out, and so you just have to multiply the first and the last. So it ends up being a squared minus b squared. Okay, I'm going to bop to 15 real quick. Remember, when I have the exponent of 3, that means there are 3 of these. So I can write it out 3 times. I do the distribution here. Okay, and that would get me x squared plus 4x plus 4. And then remember, you still need to multiply to this guy. So the x plus 2 distribute again. You can either use box method or double distribution, okay? I'm not going to do it on this. So please look out for difference of squares. You'll have some stuff that cancels like you see here. You have plus and minus of the same thing. That's not, it's going to cause some terms to cancel. And then remember, repeated. When you have an exponent, that means you've got repeated parentheses, okay? Now we'll move on to factoring. All right, 14a, we're just doing GCF and difference of squares. If those things sound familiar to you, that's good because you've already learned this. Remember, when we're looking for a GCF, that's our first step. We always want to check for that when we're factoring. If the leading coefficient is negative, then your GCF must be negative because we never want a factor that's left in the parentheses to start with a negative term. So if you have 3x to the third, 12x squared, and negative 15x, the GCF of that would have to be, well, they all divide by, looking at my numbers, 3, negative 12, negative 15, they all divide by 3. I do not have to do a negative 3 because the first term here, 3x to the third, is positive. Okay, and now we take out your x's. Remember, it says the least power is what you will divide out from all 3 terms. So you can't take out x to the third, you can't take out x squared, but you can take it on x. So we do 3x. Okay, let's look at number 1 and 2. We'll look at the coefficients first, 12 and 10. Both divide by, I think, just 2. And hopefully you notice that you have different variables here. So no, you can't take out anything else. They don't have anything else in common. So it would just be 6a to the third plus 5y to the third. All right, next guy. Again, look at your coefficients first. So negative 14. 7, this is a coincidence where the first term is negative, so we want to take out a negative GCF. 14 and 7 both divide by 7, so we want to do negative 7. Now we'll look at the m's, m to the 8th, m to the 2nd, you have to take out the lowest, so it's m squared. And then lastly, we want to look at the n's, n to the 5th, n to the 2nd. So take out the lowest, n squared. But you can write it out like this if it helps you, negative 7m squared, n squared. You're dividing by this. A reminder that when you divide, you subtract the exponents. Okay, so negative 14 divided by negative 7 is 2. You had 8m's, now you took away 2, so there are 6 remaining, 8 minus 2. You had 5n's, took away 2, and to the third. Okay, the next term would be negative 1 or negative. You don't have any m's remaining, and you don't have any n's remaining. You do have to have something in that spot, so you can't just put nothing. That's why the -1 there is important. But again, these cancel out. So that's fully factored. Okay, now we're going to chat about difference of squares. Alright. Okay, so difference of squares, a reminder, when I'm factoring a difference of squares, when I have a squared minus b squared, they're both perfect squares, it will factor as a plus b, a minus b. You saw an example of difference of squares on the multiplication we just quickly reviewed. So the first thing you have to do is figure out, okay, what's being squared, so what squared minus what squared. Important, when you have difference of squares, you do have to have a minus sign, because that's what difference means after all. Okay, so 9x squared, remember you can kind of like imagine taking the square root of that, but you're trying to figure out, okay, what would be squared, and the answer is 3x. 3 squared is 9, and then x squared is x squared. On your next term, this would be, you imagine taking the square root of that, square root of 49 is 7, and then you have y squared, so it's 7y squared. This is your a, this is your b. So when I go to factor it, it's really easy now. I just do 3x plus 7y, 3x minus 7y. Ta-da! Okay, your next guy is not actually difference of squares right now, because 72 and 2 are not perfect squares, but hopefully you can notice, please, that this does have a GCF of 2. So remember, that's why it's important to always check for GCF first, because if you don't find it, and there is one, then you might miss the whole rest of factoring. That would be 36 to the 4th minus 1. These are now for sure perfect squares, so we are going to now focus in on this. We are factoring this binomial. Okay, this one's a little bit trickier. Higher exponents, because we're dealing with polynomials, not just quadratics. We want to figure out what squared minus what squared. Well, the 1 is easy, it's just 1 squared. Square root of 36 is 6. You have to cut this guy in half, though. It would actually be c to the 2nd. I can't really fit that. Hold on. So c squared, if I multiply c squared times c squared, I get c to the 4th. So we're cutting it in half. So remember, this is again our a and our b. So the 2 remains out in front, and then you do a plus b, a minus b. 6c plus 1, 6c minus 1. Okay, look at number 5 for me. Again, you got to check for a GCF first, because if it doesn't look like difference of squares, actually it might be. This one has a GCF of 7, m, n. If you divide that out, you get this. Let's see, 1m to 6 minus 4n squared. This is now difference of squares. These are both perfect squares inside the parentheses. So now you figure out what's a squared and what's b squared. Okay, what squared is m to the 6th? That would be m to the 3rd. So we're cutting it in half. 2 of those, m to the 3rd times m to the 3rd, we m to the 6th. Square root of 4 is 2. And that one's pretty obvious, it's just 2n. You got your a, you got your b. So it's m to the 3rd plus 2n. And then m to the 3rd minus 2n with the GCF out in front. Don't forget him. Okay, last one, look for GCF first. 10w, that goes out in front, divide it out. And remaining we have w to the 4th minus 1. And for like the 3rd time, we still have a difference of squares remaining, so you need to look and see, okay, what squared minus what squared? Well, that is, cut that in half, be w squared squared, and then 1 squared. Okay, this is a fun one, so we're going to go ahead and factor it. Again, you got your a and your b, so it'll be w squared plus 1, w squared minus 1. But hold up. This one is also a difference of squares. That hasn't happened yet. And so you actually have to do this again. That would be w squared minus 1 squared. So you got to go again. You have your a and your b. It actually factors pretty easily. The first one is not difference of squares because it has a plus sign. This one has a minus sign. W plus 1, w minus 1. And I know that looks really crazy, but welcome to polynomials. You're applying everything you learned from factoring before to obviously exponents that are higher. So this is what happens.